Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is probably going to be pretty quick because I'm going to be talking about one product. I'm going to be talking about the new Sweet Peach Glow Kit palette from Too Faced. So Too Faced recently relaunched their Sweet Peach Eyeshadow Palette, which I already owned previously. I did pick up an eyeshadow palette during this relaunch for my best friend for Christmas. Let's hope and pray that I already gave it to her and she already opened it before this video went up. But I do have mine here, and I just wanted to quickly mention that I do love this palette. So in case you were wondering about my thoughts about this peach palette, I do love it. It's one of my favorite palettes. I really love that it smells like peaches, and the only reason I haven't been using it is because it hasn't been available to you guys. So if you guys want to see a video where I use this, let me know, and I can, because now you guys can finally get your hands on this. Also, if you do want a video on swatches of this palette or anything, let me know. It's just kind of weird for me because I bought this palette I think over a year ago. I don't even think I did a video on it either. But if you guys do want to see swatches and have an in-depth review, then let me know. But today we're going to focus on this Sweet Peach Glow highlighting palette. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on this palette, then just keep on watching. So I'm going to pop this out of the little cardboard box and throw it away because I'm a hoarder, and if I don't do it now, I never will. So I need to toss this. I saved it so I could show it to you guys. The box is just a really pretty metallic ombre, cute little box, and immediately when I pop this out, all I can smell is peaches. So here's the actual kit itself. It really resembles the packaging of the eyeshadow palette. It just has an ombre effect on it. It has the darker orange to a lighter peach color, and I think it's really cute. It says Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow with a little peach in the center. So when you pop this open, you have a decent sized mirror in here, which is nice for traveling. You have a highlighter, a blush, and kind of a bronzier highlight, which for me is definitely going to be more of a bronzer or a bronze topper. But I have not touched either of these. The only item I've played around with is the highlighter. So this is kind of going to be a first impression of this product from me. The illuminator is 3 grams of product, the blush is 5.5 grams, and the bronzer is also 3 grams. So obviously the blush, as you can tell with looking at the palette, is the biggest product in here, and then these two have the same amount of product. So here is a little close-up of the inside of the palette. As you can see, the base is metallic. It's really pretty. I think it's very eye-catching, and I also think that these products are beautiful, but I've heard mixed reviews, so I'm going to go ahead and swatch these and let you know what I think. The first time I saw swatches of this, I didn't think I was going to purchase this, but when I was on the website battling to purchase the eyeshadow palette for my friend, I got sucked in and I ended up buying it, and I think it's very visually appealing. So even if I hate it, which I don't think that I will, it's beautiful, and you guys know I'm a psycho and I just love to have makeup in my collection to take pictures of and compare, and I'm just a nut job, so I'm gonna let you know if I actually like it. I did use the highlighter once last week when I first got the palette, and I did really like it. So I'm gonna swatch that on my finger for you. This is the highlighting shade, and as you can see, it's very pigmented with a finger swatch. It's also pigmented on the face. It's just kind of a product that you have to build up a little bit. I feel like if you're a fan of a natural golden champagne peachy glow, you're going to like this. But if you're one of those highlighter junkies that needs something to be like extremely, extremely lit, then I don't know if you're going to like this as much, especially because there's only one shade in here, and it's a little bit more subtle in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a swatch on my hand, and I don't mean to flip you guys off. You can kind of see when I swatch it on my hand what I mean. It's a little bit more subtle than what you would maybe expect, but it's still beautiful and you can make it blinding, but I never really have a blinding highlight unless I'm being extra. But that's the illuminator. You guys can judge it for yourselves. And I'll try to describe the color for you. It kind of does remind me of Champagne Pop. It's like a peachy champagne highlight. Definitely has aspects of peach in there. I think it fits this little kit very well. I think it's a unique color though. I don't quite think it's exactly like Champagne Pop, and it is a little bit more subtle. And I feel like it works really well for someone with my skin tone, so I'm glad about that because I was definitely invested in this palette mostly for the highlighter. So the blush does have Sweet Peach Glow embossed in it, Hopefully I don't completely ruin it with my finger swatch, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch this blush for you. And I'm hoping with my medium skin tone, you guys can see it on my hand. Here it is on my middle finger. This blush is not matte. It has a little bit of a golden sheen to it, which I really love. This actually reminds me a lot of Milani Luminoso. I feel like if you are a fan of that blush, you're probably going to like this one. And I just love that it has that golden aspect in it. All of these have a little bit of a golden sheen to it. So if you're a fan of that, I think you're really going to like this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this on the back of my hand. This is my first time even touching this product. I will try all of these on my face as well in this video for you guys. Hopefully you guys can see it better than I can. I have horrible eyesight, but it looks like it might be blending in a little bit with my skin tone, which means it might actually be a very nice, subtle glow everyday blush for me, not too extreme. And I think you can definitely see when I move my hand that it does have a sheen to it. So lastly in the kit, we have the color that I'm kind of the most skeptical about because it is a bronze color, but it seems pretty light to actually be a bronzer, so it's kind of in that in-between stage for my skin tone where it could either highlight me or give me like a streak on my face, and I don't want that. So when I do test it out on my face, I will try it as a bronzer, but as a bronzer, it looks like it might be a little bit light for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one. And all of these, while I'm swatching them, are super buttery and soft. That's something you might want to take note of. I really like the feel of these products. I feel like they're very well made. And I also think that the little peaches are just so cute embossed on the powder. So here is the bronzer on my finger. As you can see, and I can see in person, this also has a golden sheen to it, which I think is beautiful. It's a really beautiful golden glow, and this is also warm toned, which I like. It's not a contour color, definitely a bronzer color, and I feel like it would look really nice in the summer to just warm up your makeup look a little bit. And seeing it on my finger, it does look like it might work as a bronzing shade. It doesn't look too awful light, so we'll see how it works on my face. So there is the bronze shade, and as you can see, it is a little bit darker than my skin tone, which is good because it actually will bronze me up, and it does have a nice little sheen to it. So I'm going to start off with bronzer. I'm going to start off with the bronze shade, and I'm going to pick up this large angled contour. I used this in my previous tutorial. It still has a tiny bit of product on it, but I don't feel like that will affect anything. It's nothing that's, it's not giving off any products is what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of this bronze color and tap off the excess. And I did contour today, but I'm just going to overlap that contour with this color. Might have to build it up a little bit. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything, but I am not seeing much of anything. Yeah, this color really doesn't seem to be doing much for me and my skin tone. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. So even when I look up close in my mirror, that bronzer didn't seem to do much of anything for my skin tone, which is kind of disappointing, but maybe without this contour that I already have, it might do something on its own, but I kind of wanted it to just enhance and bronze up my face, which I don't really think it did. So far, I don't really like the bronzer, but I will keep you guys updated when I use this a little bit more. And I won't stop using it. It didn't do anything bad to my face. It just didn't really add much of anything. Okay, so moving on to blush. I have high hopes for this because it really does remind me of my Luminoso from Milani. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush. This is one of my favorite drugstore brushes. And I'm going to dip into this peach blush, and I'm going to smile and apply this to the apples of my cheeks the same way I apply any of my blushes. And I can tell that this is picking up a lot more than the other brush was picking up the bronzer. So this might be a little bit more pigmented, so I'm going to go ahead and be safe and tap off my brush. This is definitely adding color. I really like this a lot. This is just like Luminoso, but it's more of like a natural look. Like you can see a lot more of the peach than you can with Luminoso. That's more of like a, I don't know, kind of like NARS Orgasm blush. A little bit too golden, I guess. This is not too golden for me. actually really, really like this blush. I feel like it gives your face like the perfect flush of color. Okay, so the blush is good. I really like it. And we're going to test out the highlighter. I already used it, so I know I'm gonna like it, but let's see what it looks like with the blush. So for highlight today, I'm going to use my Morphe R31 brush. This is perfect for highlighting. I really enjoy using it. And this is the same brush I used last time, so I want to stay true to that because I really like the way that it came out. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this highlighter, and I'm going to sweep it on my cheekbones. Now I know you guys can see that. It's such a beautiful golden peachy glow. I love this highlighter. But I'm a huge fan of subtle glow. Like I said, I don't really know if this is for you if you're into a super blinding highlight. This is definitely more subtle. And the second time using this just confirms that because I really am stacking the product on and it's not super, super highlighted. Okay, so that is the bronzer, blush, and highlight. Again, I don't think that the bronzer really shows up. I don't feel like it really enhances my look all that much. I love the blush. I think it's the perfect tone for a medium skin tone. I think it's beautiful. Let me know if you are a different skin tone, how you're liking this if you own it. I would love to know, and I feel like that would help others in the comments as well. And the highlighter has to be my favorite thing out of this palette. I think it's a beautiful, subtle glow for me. I would wear this on a daily basis, and that is usually what I look for in a highlighter. So I'm just going to top off my look with a nose highlight. I know some people hate it, but I like to highlight the tip of my nose. And I also like to highlight my Cupid's bow. And a little bit down the bridge. I didn't even tell you guys how much this palette costed. This was $42. I did buy it the day of the launch off of the Too Faced website, but now it will be available in stores. It will be available on Sephora, Ulta, I believe Macy's. So if this is available when this video goes up, I will link it in the description box where you can purchase it. I know right now it's still before Christmas when I'm filming, and it's not available online on Ulta anymore. I think that it's out of stock, and I'm not even sure if it's available on the Too Faced website right now, but I will do my research and hopefully you guys can find this because this is a palette I would recommend if you are a medium to a lighter skin tone. But if you're any darker than me, I feel like this might be a waste because I'm not sure how well the colors would pick up on your skin tone. Let me know though if you are darker than me, if you do own this, how you like it. I just feel like the bronzer might be a little bit unnecessary because it doesn't even really show up on my skin tone, and I'm a little bit paler than usual right now, so that is surprising for me. But I do recommend it. I really like it. I'm glad that I own it. And I love the peach collection. I love the way it smells. I think it's adorable. And I really like the whole presentation of this whole collection. So I'm definitely a fan of this. I'm just a little bit disappointed in that bronzer shade, as you guys can tell. But that is pretty much all that I have to say. I know that this video was quick, but it was requested, and I hope that it was helpful for you guys. If you did like it, then please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos every single week, and I would love to have you. And hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye.